Resident Evil database has a job to do. Well, first off, thank you for the opportunity to do this interview. In response to the question, basically I auditioned. I got a call from someone that was working for the production company that was handling the audio and the mocap for Resident Evil 5 at the time, and said, "Hey, want you to come up and give this role a shot. We need somebody to come in and basically provide this voice. You came recommended. We want to listen to you." So I showed up and basically did an audition without actually doing anything into a microphone, but just with a group of people standing around me. Read a few of the lines. From there, it looks like they got the thumbs up. Then we went into the booth, did a couple more tests from there, and then basically the role was offered to me, I think, a couple days later. And I can't really remember the exact time that they got in contact with me, but they were sort of already in pre-production for the game, or actually already in production for the game, and I guess it might have been like a couple weeks before they started all the audio recording, somewhere in that time frame. Question 2. What do you say about a guy who can punch boulders, right? Chris is an awesome character. He's definitely a dude you wouldn't want to mess with. He's a ton of fun to play because it's great getting to be the brooding, tough guy who's always focused on the job at hand, and that's it. So he's a super cool character. Look at the guy. He's got arms like tree trunks. Question 3. No, I don't know that I have anything in common with Chris Redfield. We definitely don't look the same. We definitely don't share the same desire for working out. But no, I guess other than he shares my vocal cords, and it's not as if I walk around talking like Chris Redfield all the time anyway. So I don't think I exactly, I don't walk around places just going, come on. Saying, Sheva! None of that stuff. So I don't know that I share too much in common with Chris, other than I guess that I really do believe in partnership, whatever that means. Question 4. That is the most amazing thing about getting to do what it is that I do, is you're just sort of blown away by the fact that I show up. In my world, I just want to go get the job. I want to go get the gig and do the job and get paid and go get another one. And then all of a sudden the game comes out, and if it's a big game or if it's a big project, all of a sudden you've got people sending you emails asking for audio interviews, that kind of thing. And it's amazing. So to know that obviously the fans are fans of the series and the character and all that kind of stuff. And if I can have just the tiniest little bit of being a part of that, it's hugely flattering to have people reach out and say, "Hey man, love what you did, love this character," all that kind of stuff, because there's so many other people that are involved in the making of a game, and when it comes time to cast a voice and that kind of thing, granted I'm lucky to be able to do what I do, but the reality is there's guys that are writing all the lines of dialogue, they're editing everything, they're working on the mocap, they're working on the level design, all this stuff that goes into creating that character of Chris. And I just get to be lucky and, show up for a few hours and go, "Hey, oh, no," and scream and yell. And you get fans contacting you when, in all actuality, it's, there's a ton of people that go into providing all this effort and work into creating this character. So I'm hugely honored and flattered that people are enjoying the character of Chris Redfield. And as far as whether or not this thing goes on for me forever, who knows? It's never up to me. And it's a business at the end of the day, and there's a lot of companies and people involved with all this stuff. So it's really not up to me, but of course would love to have it continue. Question 5. Actually, no, I played a little bit of Resident Evil 4 prior to actually being a part of RE5, but I didn't really know too much about the Resident Evil world, which I know bums a lot of people out. But yeah, basically my introduction to the world of Resident Evil was working on the game Resident Evil 5. And of course, I loved playing Resident Evil 5, and you couldn't get me off the thing for weeks on end. But yeah, so Resident Evil 5, played the heck out of that thing. And looking forward to upcoming Resident Evil games and playing those. And then as far as, any other favorite characters, you gotta love Wesker. I mean, you always gotta love the bad guys. Yeah, I mean, Wesker's pretty cool. Question 6. Yeah, that's always tough. I mean, I like playing bad guys, but hey, it's also cool to be the good guy as well. It's even more fun if you can play a role that kind of, is on the fence with whether or not the guy's a good guy or a bad guy. There's a little more meat on the bones for a role to play that kind of thing. But I don't know. It goes both ways. Everybody loves Darth Vader, even though he was the bad guy. It would be cool to be Darth Vader, but you're the bad guy. But Darth Vader's cool. Luke Skywalker's awesome, but I think it'd be cool to be Darth Vader too. So I don't know. Question 7. As far as preparation, that's where working really closely with the directors, with like Liam O'Brien and Stephanie Shea on RE5. We worked really closely with just trying to make Chris not be a one-note kind of guy. Try to have a little bit of depth to the character, and so Liam especially was always trying to rein me back in from taking the character to be too broad or too cliche kind of thing. So we tried to give him a little depth. But as far as preparation, usually all it takes is for me to get in the booth and just say Wesker, and then we're right there. That usually was. There were a couple other things here and there, but for the most part. He's not too far outside of my natural register, and it's more of an attitude thing, so there's not a lot of preparation per se. Question 8. Absolutely. I think they're blurring the lines between, a Hollywood production and a video game production, because now you're getting into full body and facial and vocal performance capture, all in one fell swoop in a lot of these games these days. So the production values are going up a lot, as well as the demands on the actors. So it's someday. I mean, I don't know where it's going, but it definitely seems like it's going a lot bigger, a lot more production value in all the cutscenes of games and the way that they make them and build them and film them now, or capture them at this point, is getting a lot closer to what you see in some Hollywood productions. So I would say, nowadays the games are getting just as big. If you look at a game like L.A. Noire, from everything from the actors that they hired to their mocap process, that was extremely involved, which is comparable to something you'd see on a Hollywood film set, I'd imagine. Question 9. I had a background in doing stand-up comedy, and that was where I was doing characters and voices in my act, and people would say, hey, you should, look into voiceover, that kind of thing. And that's kind of how I got my start, having people say, hey, you should look into this, and me just kind of going, oh, I don't know, all right, fine. I ended up taking a class in commercial voice acting, and then from there just started kind of cutting my teeth. And as far as, like, idols go, obviously you can look back on the pioneers and guys like Mel Blanc and Billy West is incredible, but it's sort of tough because it's like the guys that you idolize are guys that you can barely come close to even emulating as far as doing an impression of the characters that they've created. So it's really tough. Obviously somebody like Don LaFontaine, with his iconic voice is somebody to aspire to, but no, I guess, if anything, it's idols that I'm completely jealous of, because it's guys that, I know I'll never come close to even their level of success or their level of achievement in this business. Question 10. Nope, I'm the only VO guy in the family. I'm the only one in the business in the family. And it's funny because, when it comes to your family and your friends, it doesn't matter what level of success you have. They're always going to be, I'm always going to be somebody's little brother or, somebody's buddy since, kindergarten kind of thing. So they don't look at me and go like, oh yeah, Chris Redfield, that's pretty cool. They just look at me and go like, whatever. So, question 11. I should probably be maybe a little political in my response here because, yes, I've seen the movies. And, I would say that in your question, sort of alluding to the fact that a lot of fans have been disappointed about the movies, I would gently say I can understand why they would be disappointed. And yes, I've seen a couple of them, and I guess in response to what do I think of them, I don't know what it really matters what a VO guy thinks of a major Hollywood blockbuster production like that. So I'll just keep that to myself. Is that a safe response? Question 12. I saw some of Resident Evil Afterlife, and it's not necessarily my cup of tea. And as far as what one actor interprets a character to be over the other, that's just all personal choices. So, he's doing what he's got to do for Chris Redfield, and I do what I got to do for Chris Redfield. But there's such vastly different worlds doing on-camera work as opposed to VO work that it's like, I guess I don't really have an opinion either way as to what he does versus what I do. It's like everybody's doing their own thing. And there's plenty of Chris to go around. Question 13. The worst thing about doing video game voiceovers is that you sign all these non-disclosure agreements, and you never get to talk about anything that's coming up, simply because so much of this stuff is top secret. But you guys know there's a couple projects that are coming out in the Resident Evil world, and hopefully you'll get to hear me in more of that stuff. And then, outside of the world of Resident Evil, we've got more Sonic the Hedgehog, and Ezio from Assassin's Creed is sort of not wrapping up his story, per se. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But we definitely are bringing his chapter in the Assassin's Creed world to a close to a certain degree. That's about it right now. There's other stuff coming out, but again, I can't really talk about it. Question 14. Just to say basically thank you. Thank you so much for all the kind words that people send me all the time. I love going to conventions, getting to meet fans of Resident Evil and see guys doing Chris Redfield cosplay and all that stuff. It's incredible. So I guess to say thank you very much to the fans of Resident Evil who support this incredible franchise, and all the fans of Chris Redfield that have reached out to me to say that they like what we're doing, all that kind of stuff, and to let everybody know how lucky I am to be able to do what it is that I get to do and be a part of this, be a very small part of this incredible series of Resident Evil. So thank you. I'm very, very touched and honored that I get to be a part of this whole thing. Thank you very much to the fans of to ResidentEvilDatabase.com and the fans of Chris Redfield. You guys rock. Thank you. Resident Evil Database, the right place for true Resident Evil fans.